Hi guys, welcome to another episode of DFN. And as promised, the last time out, we're going to delve deeper into marriage and project management comparison. And so, by way of an overview, in running a project, then it goes through the initiation phase or stage. It goes through the planning stage, it goes through the execution stage, it goes through the monitoring and controlling stage, and then it goes through the closing stage. And so today we're going to take the initiation stage and delve deep into it. Now, in initiating a project, there are two main things you do. Number one is developing the project charter, and number two is identifying stakeholders. For today, we're going to deal with developing the project charter. Now, there is this key thing I want you to know about projects. Projects are always initiated by an entity external to the project. Projects are always, initiated by an entity external to the project. And so in the same manner, marriage is also initiated by an entity external to marriage, and that is God. And so, marriage is not the idea of the man or of the woman, it's the idea of God. So scripture says in Genesis 2:18 that, God saw that it wasn't good for a man to be alone. So he said he would create for him and help it. And so, just as in project, you have the project sponsor who determines the content of the project charter, that is what the scope is, decides on how it will be funded, and decides on what done means or what the deliverables are. The same way in marriage as well, God is the one who calls the shots. He decides the terms of the marriage. He decides how it should be run, and he makes provision for it as well. And so, in your marriage, for example, it wasn't your idea, it wasn't your wife's idea, it wasn't your husband's idea, and so you don't run it on your terms or your spouse's terms. It always has to be on God's terms. So, for example, when scripture says in Proverbs 18:22 that whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God, it means that God had made a provision. Because he initiated it, he has made a provision that when you find a spouse or you find a wife, then you obtain that provision he has made for the project. And so I would want us to remember this, that marriage is not supposed to be run on our terms. Not the husband's terms, not the wife's terms, but on God's terms, because he is the factor, he is the entity outside the marriage or external to the marriage who actually initiated the marriage. And this is really key. We would go on to the next thing, which is identifying our stakeholders in the marriage in the next episode. So always remember, no two relationships are the same. Please remember to share the video. If you think you are blessed by it, you think someone else will be blessed by it, hit the share button. Thank you. Cheers.